Cheers! This is the way to jam pack all of your nutrients into one. What's up guys? My name is Eleonora. Just a quick disclaimer about supplements. I am not a medical professional. Please don't take anything that I say in this video as medical advice. Please check with your provider, spouse, or mother, father, whoever you want to check in with before you start any supplement regimen.
It's quite the disclaimer.
Most importantly, I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but please find what works for you. I am just sharing my personal experience. If it registers for you, great. If not, that's okay too. We're all unique individuals. We all need different nutrients and different supplements. So also, my personal advice, if you are trying to conceive, I would not start any new supplements in your 2-week wait. I would personally wait until you get your period or when you end your period if you want to start anything new. The reason for that is you don't want to start any kind of new supplementation in the 2-week wait for the chances that you might be pregnant, and you don't want anything affecting that. And if something is brand new to your body, you don't know how it's going to react, so it's just better to be a little cautious there. Let me just close this window because the lighting is getting weird. Okay, I think that's better. Why use supplements? I think it is super important to remember the purpose of supplements. Supplements are meant to supplement. They are not meant to outdo a bad diet or a poor lifestyle. If we want to go back to elementary school art class in the color wheel, they are complementary. They are not primary. So supplements can help bridge the gap in any nutrients that you might be lacking, that you might not be getting from your daily diet. But your daily diet should be heavily focused on whole foods and, if possible, completely eliminating processed foods or as much as possible. So with supplements, I tend to do what I like to call supplement cycling. I like to take certain supplements for a couple of months. I like to see how my body adjusts to them, if there's any changes that I notice. I definitely have my staples, kind of my core supplements that I take no matter what, but there are certain things that I might introduce based on, blood work or how I'm feeling, or if I found something new that I'm interested in trying out. Seasons change. I mean that literally and spiritually. Seasons change outside, the weather changes, seasons in our lives change. There's things that we might need to add or take away, but I like to make sure that I'm never dependent on anything. I don't want to be dependent on medicine ever, but I also don't want to be dependent on supplements either. So my regimen does change from time to time. What I'm sharing in this video is what my regimen consists of right now. So if you've been following my story from the last couple of months, you know that I have had trouble getting pregnant, and I finally got pregnant after 22 cycles of trying. Unfortunately, that pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. But I wanted to share the supplements that I was using in the months leading up to that positive pregnancy test. So these supplements I was taking, or I started taking, about 3 to 4 months before that positive test. So I'm sure that had an effect on it. Fun fact, it takes about 3 months for your egg to mature. So whatever you're doing today, you are essentially affecting your egg health 3 months from now. So that's about 90 days. Okay, the first thing that I was taking was wheat germ. It was a capsule, wheat germ oil. And this is apparently referred to as pregnancy glue by a lot of fertility specialists and midwives and everyone in that industry. And it's an incredibly potent source of vitamin E. And the cool thing about wheat germ oil is that because it exists in nature, there's a lot of important cofactors and coenzymes that help with the absorption of the vitamin E. So it helps the uterine lining. It really helps bring blood flow to that area, to your uterus. Quick little story on that. I had run out of wheat germ oil at one point during my period. And my period was really weird back then. I would spot for 2 days, kind of bleed for 24 hours, and then it would kind of trickle off. At that time, when I ran out of the wheat germ oil, my period was in like a couple of hours of where it was stopping. I knew it wasn't over, but once I took that wheat germ oil, in about 3 hours, I started bleeding a lot again. So not in any way that was alarming. This was just, I know my body, but I thought it was interesting where I guess the blood flow just wasn't happening there, and the vitamin E, the wheat germ oil, really helped. Now I was also taking my skincare supplement. I also do that in cycles. It is called EFA. It stands for essential fatty acids. This specifically has omega 3, 6, 9, 7, primrose oil, sea buckthorn oil, all of the stuff that is meant to make your skin plump from the inside, but it's also very high in vitamin E. And vitamin E, like I said, brings blood flow. So lots of vitamin E.
Say it again.
And then I was also taking a specific brand of desiccated uterus reproductive organs. I was on some sort of desiccated uterus before that, but I was not taking the specific brand. Very important to note, I had a 24-day cycle before I was taking these supplements, and around after a month, I would say my cycle extended to about 25, 26. It kind of played off of those days, but it did extend it. So I guess there was something wrong with the blood flow that I was having. It wasn't operating the way that it should have. So I think those supplements really helped a lot. So if those supplements were possibly involved in the positive pregnancy test that I took, why am I not taking them anymore? Like I said, I like to cycle with supplements. I don't like to spend too much time taking a course of something. And I just felt in my gut that it was just time to change it up. When I got that positive pregnancy test, something switched off in my mind. I was already eating super clean, super careful about the lifestyle products that I was using. But after getting that positive pregnancy test, I just did a 180 and I was even more careful with what I was putting in my body. Those supplements I wouldn't consider synthetic by any means, but I just really wanted to look deeper into supplements that were more bioavailable, that would have even better absorption in the body. And I just felt called to look elsewhere and to kind of expand what I can possibly add to my supplement regimen that I was not taking before. Now let's talk about synthetic versus non-synthetic supplements. Synthetic vitamins and supplements, they are essentially made in a laboratory. So you have those multivitamins, some prenatals, unfortunately. The way that I see it and the research that I've done, and at the end of the day, what logically makes sense to me, if it is synthetic, if it is made in a laboratory, your body might not be able to recognize it. It might not be able to absorb it. Vitamins and minerals, they work synergistically. So sometimes if you're taking too much of one thing, you can be affecting something else, and then you're just not balancing out what you need to be balancing. Your body is a whole. Your body is not just bits and pieces. I think it's really important to look at the body as a whole and realize that everything works together. So you cannot have an abundance of one thing without supporting the others. Also, before any of this trying to conceive journey, I have never been able to take a multivitamin. Every single multivitamin that I have ever tried would make me so nauseous. And multivitamins are recommended to take in the morning. That was not a way that I can start my morning. So no, I am not taking your generic prenatals. And like I said, it's for those reasons. I prefer to take things from a more bioavailable source. So non-synthetic vitamins come from natural sources like herbs or animals. They are just going to be better absorbed by your body because of where they're coming from. To be quite honest, I just think it has less of a possibility of having some negative interaction in your body because it is coming from nature. I cannot see something coming from nature as a bad thing. Yes, I know there's things that might be toxic if they're taken in abundance, or there's certain things that shouldn't be mixed with other things. I completely understand that. But generally speaking, herbs and animal sources I feel have such a better effect on my body. So if I'm not eating something, then that is when I will supplement it. But that is kind of the reasoning why I prefer non-synthetic vitamins to the synthetic ones. Herbal tinctures. I love herbal tinctures. This past March, in March of 2023, yeah, that's the year we're in. Duh. I got really sick. I was sick for kind of on and off. It just never went away for about a month. And at that time, I did not have any natural remedies up my sleeve, unfortunately. And I was not necessarily in the state of mind to start doing any research. So I did take medicine, and I still regret it to this day. That kind of propelled me to be prepared for any possible sicknesses in the future and to have those natural remedies on hand, because I knew that I did not want to touch any medicine. And that brought me to the company Earthly. So my go-to daily tinctures from them are Nourish Her Naturally, Fertili-Boost, and Liver Love. So Nourish Her Naturally kind of acts as the multivitamin, except in herbal form. Fertili-Boost, I'm sure it's kind of obvious of why I'm taking that, but the reason why, what really drew me to that is the ingredient they have called Vitex. Now Vitex is an herb, and it has been proven, has been shown that it naturally helps boost the body's progesterone. I know I have low progesterone, or I had low progesterone. I haven't checked it in a bit. I never checked my progesterone after ovulation, which is technically when you're supposed to see if you've ovulated and whatnot. But even on my cycle day 3, when I tested my progesterone, it was on the lower end, even though it didn't need to be high. So I knew that this was something that I had. I also, the spotting that I had before and after my period, that is also a sign of low progesterone. So that really convinced me to try that fertility Fertility Boost, I was a little iffy, to be quite honest, in the beginning, because I was worried about the effect that it might have on my progesterone. Is it going to be a positive effect? You know, you have to be careful with that. You know, you want to make sure that you're doing your research. Just because it's an herbal supplement from a company that I trusted, I really wanted to do my due diligence. I can never say this word. I really wanted to do my due diligence and research that herb and make sure that it was something that I was comfortable taking. At the end of the day, I am responsible for what I am putting into my body. Doesn't matter what brand it's from, doesn't matter how much I trust them. At the end of the day, I need to feel comfortable with whatever I'm taking. And honestly, I've seen a difference. So that Fertility Boost, I started taking it at the beginning of my period before getting pregnant. So did that have an effect? I don't know, but I do think that that was worth mentioning. And liver love. During this trying to conceive journey, I have truly realized how important liver health is. Your liver is your detox organ. We are bombarded with toxins every single day. They're all around us. And our liver really gets put into overdrive. So anything that I can do to support the liver, like liver love, sometimes I do castor oil packs before ovulation, never after. But anything that I can do to support the liver, I like to incorporate that.
It's a yes from me.
I also have an array of other herbal tinctures in our cabinet. Because I was sick months ago, I wanted to make sure that I had enough tinctures and enough things that I was comfortable taking for a rainy day. So I do have a bunch of them. I'll take them as needed. Sometimes I just put them in a glass of water. Most of them do have the option of getting a alcohol-free tincture, which is what I prefer. I don't like the alcohol-based tinctures. The alcohol is just a preservative. The alcohol-free ones, I think they use a glycerin as a preservative. However, the Fertility Boost only comes with an alcohol preservative, and I took that straight. One time, the first time I got it, just took the herbal tincture right in my mouth, and
these are party shots.
I don't drink, so, you know, straight cane alcohol, whatever it is, it was rough. So before that, I was taking herbal tinctures just straight, but now I'll just mix them all in a glass of water. That really helps dilute the alcohol. And then sometimes I put it into my smoothie, depending on what time of day I'm making my smoothie. Okay, capsules. I don't like taking pills, so the fact that I've been able to find other sources of vitamins that don't require me to swallow a pill.
Honestly, I love that for you.
The only capsules I take at this point are the Oyster Capsules, the Oysterman from Earthly, and I take NAC. So I used to take those Super C vitamins from Costco, which had, I think, vitamin C, zinc, maybe some D in it. And of course, because I was steering away from synthetic vitamins, I stopped taking that, but I still wanted a good zinc supplement that was not synthetic. So oyster, desiccated oyster is an amazing source of zinc. And then I take NAC. So NAC is probably the most synthetic that I'm taking at the moment. It's the only one. The reason I take it is because it's a precursor to glutathione. Glutathione is an antioxidant that helps repair cellular damage. Because our bodies have so much oxidative stress, I really feel comfortable taking NAC. And like I said, it's not a mixture of something, it is a precursor to something in our bodies already. So it works synergistically, and that's just something that makes sense to me. My husband has been taking it for quite some time because I read of how beneficial it is to sperm health. It apparently is really good for egg health as well. So I've been taking it for the last couple months. I also heard somewhere, I don't remember where at this point, that NAC can help your fertile cervical mucus. If you are trying to conceive, you know how important cervical mucus is in order to conceive. Without it, the sperm just has no way to survive. Okay, now powders. I have a bunch of different powders that I like taking. I mix and match them depending on the day, so I'm just gonna share all of what's in my cabinet. Starting with collagen. Hydrolyzed collagen from Perfect Supplements. There are so many benefits from taking collagen. I primarily take it for gut health. Gut health is super important when trying to conceive, so that is kind of the main reason that I take it. Next is the Baobab. Baobab. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Honestly, this is a pretty new product for Perfect Supplements. When I read the description, it just spoke to me. It's the tree of life, and that just is something that the energy of that I liked. So if you want to read about the description of the benefits of it, all of the products that I'm talking about do have a description on their website. If I was to go into the benefits of every single thing in depth, this would be a very long video.
Nobody got time for that!
Now this one is my absolute favorite. I cannot go without this powder. It's the multi-organ powder. It has like 6 different desiccated organs, which I think include the heart, the spleen, thymus, pancreas. How many is that? I think I'm missing 2. Kidney and liver. CoQ10 is really good for fertility. The heart, desiccated heart contains CoQ10. Liver has a lot of iron in it. So like I mentioned before, I was looking for supplements that have a lot of bioavailability, and desiccated organs have that. I'm not going to sit and eat kidney and spleen and all of those organs, but I do want to be able to get the vitamins from them. So the desiccated organ supplement is just an amazing addition, and when you put it into your smoothie, you do not taste it. It might smell a little meaty, but once you put it into your smoothie, I mean, you don't taste it at all. I also have Acerola, which is very high in vitamin C. Vitamins that I was taking before that had the vitamin C and the zinc, I was looking for something that had high vitamin C that was more natural. Acerola is a great addition. And then the mushroom immunity. Mushrooms have amazing benefits, and I think they use 3 different types of mushrooms in their mushroom immunity blend. The description is all on the website, and these are just things that I like to play with. Last but not least, bee products. When I was researching just the benefits, the explanation of the benefits of bee products, I came across the fact that they actually represent fertility, and I thought that was really sweet. I love honey, I love bee products, and the fact that that is kind of their spiritual meaning behind it, I thought was really sweet. But local honey and local bee pollen, that I put into my smoothies every single day. So if you have the opportunity, I would really aim for purchasing local honey and local bee pollen, just because whatever environment we are located in is essentially what we should be consuming. But bee pollen has so many B vitamins, enzymes. B vitamins are very important for fertility, so bee products are amazing. So what's in this smoothie of mine? Everything. Like I mentioned throughout this video, everything that I listed, I either put all of it, most of it, some things I will eliminate depending on the day, depending on how I'm feeling. Always encourage people to listen to their bodies, just really connect, especially we as women, you know, with being able to conceive and even trying to conceive. I mean, there's just such a spiritual journey through that as well that I think is really important to remember. So get in tune with your body as much as possible and really figure out what you need. Whatever your heart sings for, whatever your heart calls for is really the best way to do it, in my opinion. If you have any questions about anything that I've said in this video, feel free to comment below. Feel free to reach out in my Instagram DMs. I love to share everything that I've learned, my experiences. I love to hear about yours, so do not be shy. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Wish I could speak today.